Hey everyone and welcome to Stellaris Apocalypse. Everything you know about Stellaris is wrong now. That's basically Apocalypse and 2.0 update in a nutshell. It changes the game more drastically than Utopia did. And for the better, in my opinion, at least from what I played so far. However, I could sit here and talk about it for an hour. I think the best way to show all the changes is by actually playing the game. I already prepared the empire we are going to play as, in honor of my most successful Utopia admiral, and probably the most successful admiral I ever had in Stellaris. Which means we are going to be the Reblog Empire. And since I never played as a spiritualist empire, I decided to give it a shot this time. We are going to be egalitarian, militarist, and spiritualist, which I figured will be an interesting combo to play with. And we also got citizen service, which will increase our naval capacity by 15%, and cutthroat politics, which will decrease the edict cost by 20%, which also helps us as spiritualists, because spiritualists get a special edict, which lasts 100 years and increases growth, happiness, and some other stuff on the planet. But it does cost 300 influence. We are also communal, which will increase happiness, enduring, which increases leader lifespan, and intelligent, which increases engineering, physics, and society output. And our negatives are weak and slow learners. And I think that covers it. We are oligarchic, which means we will hold an election every 20 years to select a new ruler. And our first ruler is Reblog the Dragon Slayer, because who else? We will be playing with a Savannah homeworld, which is a dry planet, and dry planets are more likely to generate physics research and energy. And energy will be quite helpful. So, let's get started. Now, as you might or might not know, in Apocalypse the only form of FTL travel are hyperlanes. But if you're not a big fan of hyperlanes, you can increase hyperlane density to as much as 5 times more hyperlanes, which will make like every system that's close to another system connected. We'll go with 1.25. Same with abandoned gateways and wormhole pairs. Other than that, we'll play in a large galaxy with 12 AI empires, well, maybe more. Let's say 15 AI empires, 3 advanced stars, 3 fallen empires, and 2 Marauder Empires. Marauder Empires is one of the new mechanics. In Apocalypse, they are basically space Mongols. And I think that's it. Let's get started, shall we? Looking forward to it. So, here we are, the Reblog Empire. Now, before we actually start playing properly, let's talk about one of the biggest mechanic changes in Apocalypse. The starbases. Because the starbases are easily one of the most important mechanics in Apocalypse as a whole, and you will run into it immediately after starting the game. So, each system has a single owner now, and that owner is based on the owner of the starbase in that system. Starbase is basically a multi-purpose frontier outpost. It replaces the old outpost system, but it now serves many different functions. It can be upgraded, it can be specialized, and like I said, it's one of the most important new mechanic changes in Apocalypse. Now, each time you construct a starbase, it starts as an outpost, which is level 0, and does not count towards your maximum starbase capacity, which you can see up here. We are right now at 1 out of 3 starbase capacity, but this only counts upgraded starbases. Because upgrading starbases can and will make them much more powerful, and generally speaking, that means you will have a lot of level 0 starbases, which will be used for system control, and a few highly upgraded ones, which will be some of your most important assets in the game. And starbases do appear on the outliner, but just the upgraded ones, and they have modules and buildings. Modules generally determine the actual role of the starbase. We can see the few that you start the game with. You can get more as you research various technologies. And so we have shipyard, for example, because now the military ships are built on the actual starbase with a shipyard module. You can have multiple shipyard modules on a single starbase, Which means you could have a highly specialized starbase with multiple shipyard modules, capable of constructing multiple military ships all at the same time. It's a possibility. But you cannot build military ships on the actual planet anymore. Spaceport is still a thing, but it's part of the colony now, and it can only construct civilian ships. So construction ship, science ship, and colony ship. Shipyard on a starbase is what's used for your actual military ships now. Other than that, we got anchorage module, which increases our naval capacity, we got gun battery, we got missile battery, and we got the trading hub, which increases our energy generation. I think I'm going to build a trading hub right away, because energy is, I would say, even more important early on now. Because, for example, recruiting leaders requires energy as opposed to influence now. Mostly because you need influence to build starbases, and so you are going to need influence pretty much constantly. So you likely just wouldn't have enough to hire leaders. But that means, if we want to build a second science ship right away, which is generally a good idea, we are going to need 200 energy to actually hire a scientist. Unless we want to use one of our researchers, which we probably do not. Anyway, last but not least, starbases that are level 1 or higher, so that includes the one we start with, can build defenses. And they, generally speaking, construct defense platforms around them to protect themselves and the system. I haven't seen Apocalypse mid-game or late-game just yet, but I do know that the idea is to have starbase defenses scale through the entire game, and not be completely overpowered by a moderately powerful mid-game fleet. So if you invest into a starbase, it should be able to counter an entire fleet, as long as that fleet isn't like super powerful compared to the starbase. Again, I don't know how well that's going to work into the mid-game and late-game, but that's the general idea. We don't really have enough minerals to build any defense platforms, but once you upgrade your starbase, you can build defenses around it. And now we can actually get started. So, that was a bit of a long-winded introduction, but like I said, starbases are one of the most important mechanics, and you need to understand how they work and what they do as soon as you really start playing Apocalypse. Let's pick our initial research, shall we? I think we're going to grab Power Plant 2 right away. For the Society research, we could unlock the Holo Temple, which produces Unity. Good idea. And for engineering, armor, engineering facility. Let's unlock engineering facility. And how's our starting system? We can get some extra physics research, minerals, and energy. Alright, so let's get more minerals first. Over here, that's going to cost us 90. And we can go start surveying the systems. Now, before we can actually build a starbase in a new system, you need to fully survey that system. You cannot build a starbase in a system you didn't fully survey. Here we are in the galaxy, by the way. That's an interesting dead end over here. Okay. Anyway, let's start surveying the systems that are directly adjacent to our starting system. Oh wait, there's already a wormhole in here. Okay. Interesting. Let's survey this one then. Sounds good to me, and we can actually unlock now. I will probably make quite a few cuts to make the early game go a little bit faster, because overall the game slowed down a little bit, which is not a bad thing, but it can make the early game a little slow, so I will be making some cuts to make up for it. Natural wormhole. We have detected what appears to be a naturally occurring subspace phenomenon on the edge of the Kiram system. What can we do about it? Not a whole lot. Depending on where the second wormhole is located, this could potentially allow ships to travel from one end of the galaxy to the other in a matter of days. However, it's unstable. So right now we can't actually do anything about it. But there it is. It requires wormhole stabilization technology. But that might come in handy in the future, depending on where exactly it leads. Alright, let's survey, shall we? We got a planet in here.
Construction complete.
It's a tropical planet, so that's not super useful, since we started on a dry planet, but alright. It is what it is. Right, construction ship. Let's grab the physics research. Every little bit of research helps initially. And as soon as we finish surveying the system, we'll get an option to build a starbase in there, which again will be as level 0 outpost, which will not count towards our limit. And it will not appear on the outliner. The discovery of alien life. We may not be alone out here. You think so? 60 society research gained. And in order to go into your starbase, you can either click on the outliner or you can click this icon over here. So this will open the station management. I can check the starbase, I can check the defenses, I can look at the shipyard, because your initial starbase will always have a shipyard module, but in the future you'll actually have to build one yourself. You know, I'm just saying.
Survey complete.
Survey is done, so now, if we grab our construction ship, let's pause for a moment. Contact report, simple forms of life. So now if I grab my construction ship, I'll have an option to build a starbase. First, let's actually finish the research station, shall we? And we can go continue surveying. Alright, off you go then. Once we get 200 energy, I'll probably build a second science ship. That's definitely a good idea. That's almost always a good idea. Especially in a large galaxy, you know.
Construction complete.
So there's the research station. Oh, and there are planets here. Arid and Arctic. Okay, Arid is nice. Hopefully that system will be good. So let's build our first starbase, shall we? That will cost us 25 influence and 100 minerals. And this will extend our borders. So now there's always one and only one owner of the starbase in this system, and also when you go to war for specific systems. You no longer go to war for like a blob which might or might not include several systems that are very close to it. You take specific systems, and you can't push your borders to get a system that you didn't have previously. That's not a thing in Apocalypse anymore. You can't like research a tech that gives you bigger borders and then grab several systems you didn't own previously thanks to that tech. It just doesn't work that way in Apocalypse anymore. Which is a good thing. Also, the starbases themselves can have FTL inhibitors, which is kind of like forts in EU4. It's a little bit like forts in space. Basically, once a fleet jumps in, if you have an FTL inhibitor in that system, they will only be able to jump where they came from. So they will have to take care of that system if they want to continue on. Also, it's worth mentioning that a starbase cannot actually be destroyed, at least not by conventional means. So if you get attacked by pirates or something, they will not be able to destroy your starbase and force you to rebuild it from zero. Anyway, we found an anomaly and it has no fail risk. Yep, we will definitely check that out. No question about that. And let's check our actual planet. We got 200 energy now. So, before removing any blockers, how about we build a science lab? Yep, let's do that. And we'll grab a science ship. Then we can hire another scientist. Okay, what's going on? The head of the Reblog Empire's physics research department has gone missing. Wait, really? Along with their privately funded, highly experimental prototype science ship. Oh, come on now! Well, that's slightly annoying, but okay. Now we have to hire a replacement. Which means we'll have to wait a little bit longer. That is a bit annoying. I suppose we could just leave physics research without a scientist for now. It's just that we'll get a penalty. I want to get started on more surveys. And we got a scientist that will actually help with that. As in, available for hire. Right here. No, not this one. Wait, did they just change? Oh no, I was looking at this guy. Right, that's our existing scientist on a science ship. Fair enough. Begins the Wanderlust. Hold on, pause. What's going on? One of the species native to Cherryh 2 has, according to the ISS sailing seabird orbiting the planet, achieved a tentative mastery of the planet. Science officer proposes that we should monitor their development closely. Alright. Fair enough. There they are. Okay, and the other one? Begins the Wanderlust Rogue Scientist event chain. I don't remember that event chain, but okay. Let's have a look. So, can we get him back? That would be nice, because I don't really want to spend 200. We got 3 different locations. Likely locations searched, 0 out of 3. Okay. There's nothing specific indicated in here. I suppose we just need to finish surveying that system. Alright, that's fine. Let's build a science ship. And we'll hire a scientist for it. So next up here. I don't see any objectives in this system right now, but it's indicated as a likely location. It's fully surveyed already, we got full intel. Anyway, we need 90 minerals to build a research station. Let's check this system right here. Hopefully we'll find our scientist. Because otherwise we'll have to spend 400 energy. Which I'm not overly excited about. I can tell you as much.
Construction complete.
So there's our science ship. Let's grab a scientist right away. Plus 25 years leader lifespan. Yep. That's good enough, and we'll send him in the opposite direction. Off you go. That leaves us with 53 energy. Dead end. Okay then. Well, he's not there. Do we just jump back or something? Possibly. Well, alright. Let's try that then.
Construction complete.
Come on, give me my scientist back. And we can pick our first tradition. Okay, what do we want to go for? I'm thinking maybe expansion. We'll be able to increase our starbase capacity with expansion, reduce influence cost for starbase construction, get extra unity, and new colonies will start with 1 additional population. And the opener will give us plus 100% colony development speed. And getting everything will increase our core sector systems by 2. Yeah, I think we will start with expansion. Sounds good, expansion it is then. Now, about that scientist. Okay, we just had to jump into that system, fair enough. Is he going to be in Cherryh then? Looks that way. Anyway. Science. Energy can wait. We need more science. Because the first few techs will take a while to research. I'll put it that way. Also, it's worth mentioning that military fleets have a command limit now, which you can increase through research, but you can no longer have one massive dome stack in a single fleet. Doesn't work that way in Apocalypse. Okay, we got it, I think. What is the meaning of this? Will he actually come back? Apparently not. We can assign ships to escort you home. I have no interest in returning home at present. But please, as a token of my goodwill, take these drones. A donation to the Riblog Empire. Okay. Well, fine then. He disappeared. But they did leave a number of drones behind, as promised. The drones are armed, and their weapons are powering up. Wait, really? Oh, come on now. Seriously? 128. Great, that's just fantastic. How about we get the heck out of here in that case? Yes, let's maybe do that.
Evading heretics.
Well, I suppose we need to hire another scientist now. Which means we need 200 energy. Alright. That was a rather interesting start, I have to say.
Construction
Didn't quite
complete.
expect that. So, speaking of energy, let's maybe get more energy, shall we? We are only getting +4 right now, which is certainly not great. How's our planet doing? Yes, let's grab a power plant once we get the minerals. There we go, power plant. Carry on. That was a bit of an unlucky start, I have to say. 20% failure risk. Yeah, okay, I don't think I want to risk failing. That sounds like a really bad idea, right about now. Just leave it be for now. I wouldn't want to lose yet another scientist. It might not be super likely, but I'd rather just wait. We can check it out once he gets level 2.
Anomaly
That will be
found.
slightly safer. 40% failure risk. How about no? Definitely not. Okay, so this is fully surveyed now. Let's move on then. And we can't build a starbase just yet. Need more minerals. Fair enough. Let's get the energy first, shall we? We are going to need it. Still waiting for 200 energy credits. It will slow down our physics research a little bit. But oh well, it's fine. Shouldn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things.
Construction complete.
Alright then, so there's the power plant. We probably want our next pop to work the power plant. As much as I like research. Another planet. Tundra. That's not super useful for us. You know, we'll have to get rid of these drones if we want to colonize Yarak. That has a size 19 arid planet. We definitely want that to be our first colony. So that means we are going to need a few more ships. Let's have a look then. That's going to cost us 145 minerals. Well, alright. Let's maybe grab another starbase first. Although... okay, we'll get a few corvettes. Just to get rid of these guys. We only need a few more corvettes. Shouldn't be too expensive.
System survey complete.
Almost 200 energy. More surveys are done. Okay, level 2 anomaly. We are pretty close to level 2. Let's get level 2 first, and then we can check it out. I don't want to risk losing another scientist.
Construction complete.
Oh, size 16 Savannah planet. That's nice. We could colonize this first. 157. Probably still not quite enough. You know what? How about we colonize this system first? That seems like a good idea.
System survey
We can take care of the
complete.
drones later. It's not like anyone is going to beat us to colonizing Yarak. That's clearly not going to happen. This is a pretty interesting starting location right here. I want to check out this dead end, so we'll start moving in that general direction. 200. Okay, let's grab a scientist, shall we? Let's have a look. Plus 10% research speed. Yep. Spark of genius. Here you go. That will speed things up. Just a little bit. So, next
Evading
starbase.
heretics.
Encounter in Theitera. Okay. Let's make contact right away. Can we start that starbase yet? Yes, we can. Off you go then. And we'll colonize it ASAP. We are going to need 300 minerals for a colony ship. Not cheap.
Anomaly found.
Definitely not. Pause. 80% failure risk. Yeah, how about no? Heck no. Let's go this way instead. Still waiting for level 2 to check the anomalies. This guy has minus 25% anomaly failure risk too. But he's very close to level 2, we'll just wait for level 2. Definitely don't want to lose him. How's our home planet doing? And there's level 2. So let's pause for a moment. This guy. We'll let him finish and then send him back to check the level 1 anomaly. That's only 10% failure risk now. Much safer. Mind you, he could
Special
still fail.
project complete.
Space amebas. Okay then. We can begin the event chain, that's fine.
Situation log updated.
Now, I think we should
System
save up
survey
300
complete.
and colonize that system ASAP.
Evading heretics.
Okay, great. Space amebas in this system. Well, alright, I guess we won't be surveying that. Let's go elsewhere. Fine by me. This way. And before that's blocked too. Wouldn't surprise me too much, to be honest. Our other scientist is on the way to check out the anomaly.
Construction complete.
Now we could grab the minerals before building the colony ship. That's probably a good idea, yeah. Let's start with this one, that's plus 3. Plus 13 is just a little bit too low. Getting 300 minerals will take too long with this kind of mineral income. We still need to get rid of the drones, but it's kind of low priority at the moment. And we got another tradition. Well, the first tradition in the tree. That's probably going to be colonization fever. And then we can pick up a new life. We should probably wait for a new life before we start our first colony. I mean, we should definitely wait for that. Looking good so far. I think we can work the research lab instead of the power plant for now. Yep. How's our research? 6 months to finish power plant 2, and we are about to finish engineering facility 1.
Construction complete.
There it is. Let's take a look. Building build speed, Corvette build speed, Corvette hull points. I guess we'll grab Corvette hull points. I would have preferred something slightly more useful, but alright. I can live with that. Looks like this system is safe. Good, good. So, you guy. Let's grab some energy first, maybe. We'll build a station here, that's a good one. We still need one in our home system, which is fine. It's not going anywhere. And we can't build them all at the same time. Toad asteroid. +3 engineering output. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, we need a starbase here ASAP to get all that research. I certainly wouldn't mind. And since we are already here, let's go this way. Scientist gained trait. Oh, seriously? Paranoid. -5% research speed, -10% anomaly research speed. Okay. At least he didn't get increased failure risk or something annoying like that. There we got the power plant. What's next? Improved deflectors or fusion reactor. Yeah, let's unlock the fusion reactor. That's useful for a lot of things. I wonder how long we'll have to wait to get the wormhole tech. I'm curious to see where exactly it leads. I guess we'll find out. So, let's grab that starbase, I think. Unless we want to wait for 300 right now. +19. Let's get some more mining stations to increase our mineral income. We need to wait for our next tradition anyway. To start with one additional population.
Anomaly found.
10% failure risk. Yep, that should be fine, we can survey that. Just don't fail, thanks. Now, we should probably clear some of these blockers. That's 100 energy.
System survey complete.
Survey complete. Let's see, so I can't go through here, unfortunately. Let's just continue this way. Or, hold on, let's check out this system down here. That's directly adjacent to our home system. And we haven't even checked it out yet.
Construction complete.
Ancient life pod. An abandoned life pod was detected in close orbit of the system. It is covered in scorch marks, presumably from when the pod's mothership exploded. Okay. We managed to open the pod. We got 62 society research. Okay. I'll take that. And we almost finished Holo Temple. Two energy upkeep, but +6 unity. That is pretty nice.
System survey complete.
And let's continue this way.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
There it is, the Holo Temple, and what's next? Off-world trading company. So that improves one of the Starbase modules. The trading hub. Which we should probably get. We are going to need energy. We can get +4 naval capacity, but right now, energy is going to be more important. What else can we research? Hydroponics Farm 2. Not a bad idea, or +10% growth speed. Let's just get straight up growth speed. One more mine needed. Let's wait for 300 minerals now. We should be getting the next tradition pretty soon. 20 months. Okay, sounds good. Level 2 leader. Decent start so far. We haven't made any contact with AI empires yet. Which probably means we don't have any super close neighbors. That's probably a good thing. Yeah, research will take a while until we improve our research output. Almost there. Just need 300. We can probably get one more mining station, since we need to wait for that tradition anyway. Obviously, we don't need to wait for it to colonize the planet, but it makes no sense not waiting for it at this point. 15 months. Shame there's no planet in this one. Obviously, we'll still get a starbase in there. And we can upgrade
System
some of our
survey
buildings.
complete.
I don't really want to spend too many minerals right now. Let's not do that. Survey complete. This way. Off you go.
Construction complete.
One more tick, and we'll have 300. Come on. There it is. Now we just wait. The timing should be just about right. Yeah, the timing should be perfect. It will take a year to recruit this guy, and we need to wait just under a year to unlock the next tradition. Good timing. Now, let's go get the starbase, shall we? We can start moving right away. We'll get free physics and free engineering. Definitely want that. Another Savannah planet, nice one. So there are quite a few colonizable planets nearby.
Anomaly
Which is not
found.
always the case. 40% failure risk, no. Definitely not. Absolutely not. We could send this guy, since he has minus 25% anomaly fail risk. What is he doing right now? He's busy down here. What would his fail risk be here? 40%, no, that's too high. Never mind. That's just way too high.
System survey complete.
Survey complete. Where do we send him? How about failure risk on this anomaly? 20%, that's probably acceptable. Famous last words. No, it should be fine, unless we get really unlucky. And I don't want to wait too long. It's only a level 2 anomaly. How hard can it be? Right? Colony ship is almost done.
System survey
And we can get
complete.
started on the starbase. So, now we can pick up a new life. Here we go. And once we're done colonizing the second planet, we should probably build a few more ships. Because pirates are also a thing, and that could be a problem. Begins the habitable worlds survey event chain. Yep,
Situation log
we will start
updated.
that for sure. So now we need to survey 8 habitable worlds. Shouldn't be too hard with 2 science ships working on it. Still no sign of any
Construction
AI
complete.
empires. Not that I mind. There's the colony ship. Where do we want to pop the colony center? In the corner? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Still, that might be the best way. It's just that the adjacency bonuses will be kind of useless like that. And we'll miss out on some minerals. We will, however, get the energy. Might not be a bad idea. Alright, fine. Let's start it in the corner. Off you go. Now we can work on some research stations and mining
Anomaly
stations.
found.
Another anomaly, 20%. I think that's acceptable. Okay, sure. Let's get that. If we lose a scientist, we can always replace him. We have enough energy. Not that I want to spend 200 right now. Don't get me wrong. We also need a few building upgrades. Prioritize energy first. Since we are losing 0.83 at the moment. Crystal Codex. Issues a special project. Crystal
Situation
Codex,
log
okay.
updated.
There it is. We need skill level 3 or higher. So we cannot do this right now. Okay, I guess we'll come back in the future. Fine by me. This one should be done in just a moment as well. We are currently working on that.
Construction complete.
Now, research. Well, first, let's get the energy. That's 4 energy for 1 mining station. And our colony ship is almost there. Gigantic skeleton. So that's another special project.
Situation log updated.
That requires, yep, skill 3 or higher. Which means we can't do this one either. Alright. We'll just come back in the future. Once we get level 3. Oh, how about we survey this one in the corner? Yeah, let's go check it out. Then we can continue this way. I don't want to leave it unsurveyed. Our colony ship there yet?
We
Yep.
are spreading our faith to a new
The
world.
first reblog colony.
Construction
60 engineering
complete.
research gained. There it is. Our first glorious colony. Well, still colonizing, but...
System survey complete.
Survey complete. And more engineering. Let's keep going this way. We can go like this, make a bit of a loop. I'm prioritizing systems that are closer to us. In order to find colonizable planets. If we don't find anything new, this system will probably be next. Because that's a savanna planet. So 80% habitability. But we might find something better, we'll see about that. How's our research coming along? 1 year. That will give us plus 10% growth speed. Always nice. And we should probably start working on our fleet a little bit. You know, at least to get rid of the probes.
Construction complete.
Construction complete.
Construction complete.
And we got a level up, that's one of our scientists. Physics research is next. So how about that module?
Anomaly found.
Another anomaly, 10%, yep, research. Let's get a trading hub, we are going to need the energy. Might as well do that. Ancient Life Pod. 63 Society Research. Thanks. Almost done with growth speed. Ocean Planet. Yeah, that's not super useful for us. When we started on a dry planet. But hey, technically it will be colonizable. Just not a super great idea to colonize it.
Construction complete.
At least not as a priority, that's for sure.
Anomaly found.
Another anomaly, yeah, 40% is a little bit too much, I'll pass on that. Let's finish the mining station. And what's our next research going to be? Probably gene clinic. Plus 10% growth speed. Also some society research and unity. Or we could unlock additional edicts. Because these actually cost energy instead of influence, and they can be quite nice. And we'll get +5 monthly unity. Yeah, I think this should be higher priority than the Gene Clinic, for sure. Fusion reactor is almost done.
Construction
We needed
complete.
some military techs, like better weapons and things like that. Hopefully we'll get an option to pick something.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Let's have a look. Energy grid. +5% research speed. Let's just go for research speed. I suppose that's acceptable. Anyway, that's going to be the end of the first episode. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about Stellaris Apocalypse so far. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.